All right, Shalom. Before I start, we give all praises to Yahweh, Bashem Yahshai, Bashem Rechachodash. Double honors to the apostles, that was great millstone. Peace, blessings, and salutations to all the elect Akim. Walk with him, learning, teaching, and truth and sincerity. All right, and basically this video, it's just gonna be it's not gonna be too long. It was some I was reading some Job, and Spirit hit me to do the video. All right, because a lot of times in this truth, we're gonna have our spiritual ups and downs. All right, some days you might be feeling real good in the spirit. All right, you can do 100 videos. You can read till your eyes fall out, and you feel it. So you're feeling somewhat halfway decent in this captivity, and then you have other times in which you're gonna wish that you were never born. All right, you're gonna wish that you was an aborted fetus pulled out in the test tube. All right. And it's basically it's what Job was going through when he started catching all that hell. But basically, the point of this video, you can't seep too low into that sorrow. Otherwise, that's how people fall out. All right, you can't wallow in the sorrow for too long. All right, so this is Job chapter 1 verse 3 says, after this opened Job his mouth and cursed his day, and Job spake and said, let the day perish wherein I was born, the night in which it was said, there is a man child conceived. Let that day be darkness. Let not the Most High Power regard it from above, neither let the light shine upon it. All right, so Job was wishing that he was never even born. Let's see. Yep, Job was at the point when he lost all his substance, when his children died, his woman was talking about curse the Most High and died. Job was at the point where he wished he ceased from existence, and that's how we'll feel a lot, and I won't say sometimes a lot. All right, because this is hell. All right, and even though we're not in chattel slavery anymore, getting our heads whipped in and beat in, but this society is completely contrary to the ways of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, to the ways of his servants. You can't be a true man here. All right, you can't be a husbandman out here living off the land, living by your own ability. Waking up, you gotta go work for the so-called white man. Even if you do work for yourself, you still have to follow in under his guidelines. If you're working under yourself, if I remember correctly, you still have to do the W-1099 tax form to report all that money that you made. So you still got to send that motherfucker some money, man. We're absolute slaves here. You can't roll over your house the way that you want to. Let you piss your woman off real bad. She can say, oh, you did this, you did that. All right. Or hell, she can go commit adultery on you. Your kids, you can't fully, you can't fully implement the will of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai upon your kids the way that you would like to. All right. Even if they are learning the scriptures and being taught, they still have to go to the Esau's punk ass school, and they still have to try to filter that shit out their heads. All right. This society is whole against us. So you will feel like you just don't even want to be alive anymore. All right, but this is Job chapter 3, verse 20. It says, wherefore is light given to him that is in misery, and life unto the bitter soul, which longeth for death, but it cometh not, and dig for it more than hid treasures, which rejoice exceedingly and are glad when they can find the grave. Why is light given to a man whose way is hid, and whom the Most High Power hath hedged in? All right, so it's telling you there in that scripture that when you're starting to suffer sorrow, you'll dig for death more than you'll want anything. All right, and at this point in time, we can't seep into that spirit. All right, some days will be low, but you gotta pick yourself up. All right, by whatever means. If you gotta read or watch a video, hell, go get you something to eat. All right, if it'll cheer you up, because that's the suicide and the fallout demon. That's what, when people in the world, when they kill themselves, that's because they don't have any hope. That's why we have Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. He is our hope. All right, when things get low, just pray to Yahweh. Ultimately, that's what you should do. Pray to Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. That is our hope. That's our dividing line. Otherwise, we don't have anything else. That's the difference between us and the people in the world. The people in this world don't have any hope, so they'll take a gun and they'll end it all. All right, they'll find something nice and tall and they'll leap because they lost their job, or a woman left them. All right, they lost their custody of their children. They'll put that thing in their mouth and they let that whole rip. All right, but we can't. As long as we still have this knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, we are to do this work. All right, it was already told that we gonna go through these things, so we just gotta do it. Where's that? Where's that? Where's that? Yep, Khan. Sirach 38 and 18. For of heaviness cometh death, and the heaviness of the heart breaketh strength. And affliction also sorrow remaineth, and the life of the poor is the curse of the heart. Take no heaviness to heart, drive it away, and remember the last end. Khan. All right, heaviness will kill a man. A man can be imperfectly, and I'll take the example of my great grandfather. All right, around, I want to say almost 10 years ago, my great grandmother died. All right, but he's still alive, and you know he was sad for a minute, but he got back on his feet. You know he living his little old life. He's still he what 80 some years old. He can still run. He goes hunting, fishing. He didn't let that spark die out in him. But when you see in most cases, like you look at an older couple, if one person dies, I say two motherfuckers is 80, 90 years old, one person dies, the spouse will usually die very shortly after, within several years. All right, because their heart is consumed with sorrow, and really their mind, their soul, their spirit is broken. That's why I tell you, of heaviness cometh death. That's why people kill themselves. They can't handle it. All right, verse 20, take no heaviness to heart, drive it away, and remember the last end. And we're supposed to remember the last end, meaning what? The kingdom. That's our driving force. When you get ultra sad, just remember we have the kingdom coming. Adawan Ratazah. You might be a part of one of the elect or the 1/3. Therefore, you'll receive salvation when everyone else is being cast with death and destruction. All right, that being another thing. That's what that remember the last end. Remember the last end. Look forward to the prize that's coming unto the elect. All right, that's what should help keep you going. All right, never forget. All right, Sirach 41, verse 2. O death, acceptable is thy sentence unto the needy, and unto him whose strength faileth, that is now in the last age, and is vexed with all things, and to him that despaireth and hath lost patience. And right now, we're vexed with this place, but notice at the end it says, and hath lost patience. We can't lose patience, like I brought out in that video yesterday. In your souls, and your patience possess your souls. If you lose patience, you give up on the race. And that's why you got niggas that go back into the world, because they lost patience. Look at what's his name? What's that nigga's name from the Bay Camp? Oh, Yashar. He lost patience. He got tired of having to restrict himself, not being able to do the things that he wants, having to go out Saturday. I'm just using him as an example because he came to mind, but there's been many others. We can't lose the patience. All right. Now, we are vexed with all things, and this world is full of despair, but we can't lose the patience. All right. This is really like people that are homeless. That's the spirit that they're in. No patience. They're despairing. They're vexed. They're drugged out. A lot of them would rather take death, but they just don't want to kill themselves. And the brother Ariel can testify to that. He used to work somewhere, and a homeless dude came in there, and he said that. He said that he prays for God to kill him every day, but he just doesn't want to kill himself, because he doesn't want to go to hell, or that's his mindset. Let me see. Much. Let me type this in real quick, Salat. Because when you was in the world, we was going through shit, but you was much still. When you were in the world, you was like a 4-year-old child. You just out there not realizing shit. But once you come into this truth, which represents growing up, all right, you realize that all is vanity. And that's when you start to get into the spirit. I mean, well, shit, brothers, I was already in low spirits in the world, because some brothers is catching hell in the world, but the majority of us, was living. You was just a regular old dude. You didn't really know nothing. Knowledge. I know it's in I believe it to be in Proverbs somewhere. Yep. Wait, hang on. Let me look it up. Yep, it looks like Ecclesiastes, actually, Salat. Ecclesiastes 1 and 18. Yep. For in much wisdom is much is much grief, and he that increaseth knowledge increaseth sorrow. So us being in this truth, we realize how the world should be. We realize that the foundations of this earth is out of course. So it puts you in a state of heaviness. It's like, fuck, when is this shit gonna come to an end? All right, but nevertheless, you don't give in to those demons. The demons of, man, fuck this shit, man, kill yourself, man, fall out, man, this shit is whack. Because they'll say you do all those things. It's not, life ain't just going. You go back to the world. Now you got to deal with missiles, even if things might get better for 10 seconds. All right, but for most cases, it's not. You still broke, you still suffering, you still under Esau's so-called white man. All right, so really, if you're able to just go back into the world like it was nothing, you're truly evil. You're a truly evil person. That means you don't care about the flock anymore, and more importantly, you don't care about Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. You have to have a very cold heart and no conscience to be able to do that. To just throw these scriptures out. And if you just up and kill yourself right now, that's lacking patience. If you go and die, wait for the Lord to take you out, or the circumstance to where you have to sacrifice yourself, because there's going to be some Akim that willingly sacrifice themselves, in the name of Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushai, or to save another brother's life. But to just up and kill yourself right now because you're tired of catching hell, that's a lack of patience. All right, so basically the point of this video, don't seep too low into the pot. All right, pray to Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushai to pick you up. Shit, go outside, go do something. Go hit a punching bag. Go exercise, go run. All right. Go do what you got to do to maintain your spirit, so you can ride through this captivity. Shit, being a slave ain't fun. Being a slave ain't cool. But if you look back in them slave days when we was in chattel slavery, we used to do things to try to make it through our hell. We would sing. The little children might try to play a little game there, make a ball out of some makeshift shit and kick it around when Master wasn't looking. All right, do what you got to do. Give yourself some little punk ass piece of entertainment or some little small joy for this flesh. All right, but truly all this shit is vanity. But do what you got to do, Akim. Just don't lose the patience. Don't give up the faith. All right. So with that, I'm going to give all praises to Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushai, B'Hashem Rechach the honors to the apostles, the elders, great millstone. Peace, blessings, and salutations to all like Akim, walking, learning, teaching truth and sincerity. I'm going to say Shalom.